Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Strip Club Massacre. She's got a killer body.
Written by Bruce Kilroy and Bob Clark, and directed by Bob Clark, starring Alicia Watson, Erin "Misty Monday" Brown, Courtney Riggs, and Stephen Rollins. Strip Club Massacre is about Megan. She's down on her luck. She gets a job at a local strip club. Unfortunately, some of the dancers don't really appreciate losing the attention of the customers. Anyway, they're serial killers right off the bat, and you know that. And Megan basically needs to survive while making money, and the only way she's making money is getting their customers, so who knows what's gonna happen? Let's get into our likes.
I like that this takes place in a strip club. I've said it before in other strip club movie reviews, and I'll say it again because damn it, I think a strip club is a fun place to have a horror movie. And this strip club, man, it looks like a fun place.
This was T's Gentlemen's Club in Georgia. I think it was Atlanta. And honestly, if we ever visit, we're going, because it had a few different stages, it had a shower, it had a fucking throne, VIP rooms. This place was baller as fuck, and I absolutely loved this setting. And with the setting comes babes, just naked women, just dancing all the time. Great asses, can I just say? We had some great booties in this movie.
Even the ladies that didn't find themselves in the strip clubs, they were looking really nice. Courtney Riggs, who played Amanda, by far my favorite girl in this film, hands down.
She was absolutely dynamite. And of course, our lead, Alicia Watson, was fucking smoking. She probably has, okay, this is gonna be a very bold statement. She has probably like my favorite face. It's a very weird thing to say, I know now saying it, but like her profile of her face and the way it's shaped, I really enjoyed.
I think it's the teeth. You have to appreciate someone with a nice smile, and that's what she had.
And the dimples, and the nose, everything. Okay, now we're stepping into creeper territory here.
Got that little freckle on your nose.
A freckle on her nose. I never noticed that before.
And Alicia Watson also happened to be like the best actress in this movie alongside Courtney Riggs. I think both of them, they had really great chemistry between them. Their dialogue just seemed really natural.
And on top of that, the characters were developed in such a way that you felt bad for Megan's character. And you just really want to see her like get some revenge or just get something by the end of this film. Near the end, they're gonna throw a lot of curveballs at you and we're not gonna spoil it, but I did appreciate that the direction certain characters went, it did catch you by surprise. And it happens on multiple occasions. And I thought that was well played.
You know what else was well played? That DJ spinning those hot tunes in the strip club, because I thought the music and like all of the music in this movie was great.
Can I just say, Cliff, probably the best patron in that entire club.
That was my first stage dance. Do you want to be my first lap dance?
Yeah, I'll pop that cherry.
He had some really funny one-liners. He had a good look to him.
The mustache is the mustache.
And he was like rocking it in that like John's personal house party too.
I like that in indie film, you can straight up just get smashed and have a party. Cause that's dope. Like they actually just had a party. Especially if you're renting this hot tub in this dope ass house for a bit. That's got a ballin' ass kitchen, by the way. Why not? Parties aside, let's get into our dislikes.
This is an indie film, but it doesn't excuse the fact that it has terrible cinematography. This is probably the worst framed film I've ever seen in my life. I'm being serious. There's times where characters are having conversations and their nose is touching like the 1/3 and you have like 2/3 of like back space. Or characters are walking into frames and their bodies are cut off by like a ceiling lamp while two people are sitting at a table. Even like the way they were focusing. They had shots out of focus in the background, expecting the character to come in and sit down in the seat and then they would be in focus. You should do a rack focus or a pull focus.
I completely agree. Well, I think that John is a little bit harsh. He's not wrong in any sense. I think his terminology was just kind of dickish for an indie film. But yes, it was very poor cinematography. Aside from the framing The biggest issue, I've talked about this a number of times, and it's something that nobody gets right in indie film somehow, and I just cannot fathom how this mistake continues to happen, is ignoring the 180-degree rule when it comes to dialogue. I am not exaggerating. Every single conversation completely ignores the 180-degree rule. If you're not familiar with the term, I'll link to a video that describes it, and you'll understand my frustration.
Now, technical things aside, I need to touch base on this being a massacre. We do have some kills, but it's way too spaced out to classify this as a massacre. You get a couple kills at the beginning, and you get a bunch of kills at the end, and you have about 50 minutes of nothing.
A complete re-edit of the entire movie would have done this movie a little bit more justice.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are gonna go into it thinking like, oh, Strip Club Massacre. There's gonna be tons of kills at a strip club. And that does not happen. Like, it's not like an onslaught of kills.
As connoisseurs of the massacre subgenre of slasher movies, there is some expectation to hold when you add massacre to your film. I know a lot of people just want to throw massacre on it because it's gonna get views and it's gonna make a cool cover, a cool poster art, but it needs to follow up on that delivery. Otherwise, it's just old school clickbait. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. I like the locations, and I really thought that some of the acting was very impressive for the budget that we had. Alicia Watson did a great job, and so did Courtney Riggs. I thought both of their chemistry was great, but unfortunately, everyone else kind of seemed off.
Ready for that blowjob.
The cinematography was below par. I think that was probably the film's weakest aspect, and that can be coupled with the editing. There's a lot of forgiveness that we can give as far as indie film is concerned, but we have to call this out because I think a lot of people are gonna be distracted by it. At the end of the day, I was not very impressed, and I think that a lot of our fans might not enjoy this one because they're gonna expect something different than what they actually get, which is not really a massacre movie, to be honest. So I'm gonna give this one alright strippers, I guess, out of 5.
This film didn't really capitalize on doing the unique things that you could do in a strip club. And I think a lot of people are gonna go into this expecting blood, guts, gore, boobs, and just an onslaught of kills because it has massacre in the title.
Right.
And this film is not a massacre movie. There's a lot that we could forgive. I can forgive someone for having poor lighting. I can forgive people for having not the best audio. But I can't forgive poor cinematography because that is something that you are looking at yourself. If someone is out of frame, you should be able to look at it and say, oh wait, they're out of frame. Maybe I should reframe this. If it's not well lit, it's because you didn't have lights. That is just a budget issue. Being an indie film, budget isn't what you got. But you have a camera and you have 2 eyes, so use them, please. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 3 strikes and you're out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, there are links in the description where you can find it. And if you like what we've done here, subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.